Hi once again everyone, it's Weather for Weather Geeks time. It's my daily deep dive into the valley weather. We're going to start with a little review and then we'll take a look at some long-range forecasting here as we head into the month of December in a little more than, 24 hours? 28 hours from now. December will get underway. 60 degrees our official high at the airport today, about 10 better than yesterday and of course above average. Our average is closer to 42 degrees at this time of the year. So certainly November is going to go into the month as another above average month. Right now we're sitting at 3.1 degrees above the average. For the year, we've only had one cooler than average month. That was April. It was about 2 degrees below average in April. But we had a lot of months like March, like September, that were way above average. August was in that category as well. It's just been one of those years that it's been hard to get it to cool down and stay cool. And November has followed suit. That's what has happened. Now, here's the forecast for December. I've been showing you some of the longer range models lately. And the adjustment I've made from our initial December forecast, which was part of our winter forecast put out almost a month ago. If you remember, and you can go back and watch that video, my original December forecast had the below average temperatures to about right here. Maybe even a little farther than that. Maybe like right here. What I've done is backed off that idea somewhat. We were never calling for a frigid December, but we were calling for it to be a little below average. And it still may end up that way, but I'm not confident enough to have the below average area overhead. With us not being in the below or the above, what I'm basically saying is it's probably within a degree of average on either side. It could end up a degree above, could end up a degree below. But I don't think it's going to be much more than that. I think December will kind of come out in the wash as pretty typical as far as Decembers go. It'll be a different story in the Northwest and into the Northern Rockies. And down in the southeastern U.S., it's likely to be an above average month. Now, there will be some significant cold weather in the month of December, particularly about 10 days from now. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. But the middle of the month could be pretty cold. But the beginning of the month will be kind of ho-hum. And there is concern that the last week, maybe around Christmas of the month, may be a little bit on the mild side. So the month as a whole will shake out to be close to average. That would be a change, and I didn't show you the graphic tonight, but I did show the graphic yesterday of recent Decembers. We've had a lot of warm Decembers recently. 2010, the only real colder than average December we've had in the last 10 years. So even if we have an average December, that would be a pretty big change compared to recent years. All right, so let's talk about the short term now that we've covered the longer range. Severe weather ongoing down in the deep south. Tornadoes on the ground still in northern parts of Mississippi where there are tornado watches out. There's already been several confirmed tornadoes from Louisiana into Mississippi over the last 12 hours or so. No concern for severe weather here, but the moisture associated with this system is coming north and east. And as you can see on our high-res futurecast here, I think the rain chances go up pretty significantly by about 4 or 5 in the morning. This could be a fairly quick hitter as far as the steady rain, though. I think it rains steadily in a lot of places up to about daybreak, and then everything kind of becomes a little more hit or miss, I think, for a lot of the midday and the afternoon. I think the threat for showers is still there. I would keep the umbrella handy, but it's probably not the steady soaking rain that we'll have during the very early hours of Wednesday morning. Here's our other computer model here showing that steady rain, and then by 1 o'clock, a shower in spots maybe, but that should be about it. A lot of clouds around. So we go into the day Thursday, our cold fronts to the east, and it's back to reality. For the start of December, temperatures will be very appropriate for the season. We'll be close to average Thursday and Friday behind that front. And as is typical of this time of year, this is a cloudy time of year. And when we get a west to northwest wind blowing over the lakes, you're going to see a lot of clouds Thursday. And again on Friday, and out of those clouds, occasionally there could be a stray flurry, maybe a sprinkle on Thursday. That's about it. No big deal either way. Backing up and taking a look at tomorrow, the hour-by-hour rain chances. Now I'll be making some tweaks to this before the evening is through. Might have to lower the chances a little bit, starting around 9, 10 o'clock. Instead of 80, I might go 60, because the steady rain looks to be pretty early in the day. So as I get the newest high-res models in, I'll make some adjustments to this. Bottom line is, plan on some wet weather on Wednesday, especially early on. Rainfall totals with this next round of rain advertised by the modeling here to be, generally speaking, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. You can see 3 of our models, the GFS, the Canadian, and the NAM model, all around 1/2 inch, whereas the Euro and the RPM are closer to 1/4 inch. I think a range of 1/4 to 1/2 is what we can expect with our next round of rain. All right, so let's hop over to my browser here. I'm going to talk briefly about the longer range, not the month of December, but a little shorter term than that. We're talking about the Arctic air mass that's going to come down as we go through time. Now, this is the next air mass that's coming in Thursday and Friday. Seasonable chill. Here's a look at Thursday. Here's a look at Friday. Chill, yes. Nothing unusual at all for early December. Temperatures will kind of hover around average for the next several days. Might get a little bump up into the upper 40s by early next week, Monday and especially into Tuesday, ahead of this whopper of a cold front. Already here by Tuesday, the mother lode of Arctic air, at least so far this season, is starting to bleed down into the Pacific Northwest and the Northern Rockies. That's where the Arctic air arrives first, and then it's going to all charge east. So we're going to see a whopper of a front and maybe a pretty good storm along this front. Middle of next week. Now, I don't think a big snowstorm is likely here, but this could be a big snowstorm somewhere in the Midwest. But nonetheless, the Arctic air charges east, and by next Thursday and especially next Friday, we're right under the coldest of the year. And so it's going to turn pretty cold. Again, no records or anything, but coldest air of the season so far. The European model is suggesting our highs might not get above freezing for a few days, end of next week into next weekend. So that's, kind of how things should shake out during that first or second weekend of December. The cold may stick for a handful of days. Does it stick through the end of the month? I have my doubts about that, and that's why we went out with an average temperature forecast for December. It may not stick more than a handful of days. We'll see. The Canada, the northern reaches of Canada, kind of our source region of Arctic air, there's not much snow on the ground. Arctic air masses are going to have a hard time maintaining their oomph as they come south and east during the month of December until we get a pretty good snowpack in the northern latitudes. So I'm a little bit doubtful that all of December will be like the kind of air mass we're going to see in about 10 days. That's tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks as always for watching, everyone. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11.